Good afternoon, everybody. I'm going to be starting the webcast today on HR reporting and analytics. We've got quite a lot to get through, so I'll crack on. Firstly, I will give a brief introduction to Thorogood before taking you through what HR analytics is and some of the basic reporting around it, which we will also have a demo on. Then we'll look through some examples of insights you can get out of your HR data, and we'll be demoing one of those before we wrap up today as well. So firstly, some quick introductions. My name is Emily Nichols. I've been a business intelligence and analytics consultant with Thorogood for almost 2 years now. Most recently, I've been working on a couple of projects around HR reporting solutions for one of the major pharmaceutical companies. With me today is Chinmay.
Hello everyone, I'm Chinmay Puranik. I have been working as a business intelligence and analytics consultant with Thorogood for over 3 years now.
Okay, so for those who are not familiar with Thorogood, I'll just give you a whiz through who we are. Thorogood is a professional services firm that specializes in business intelligence and analytics strategies, solutions, and services. Our clients are some of the leading organizations in the insurance, banking, consumer goods, pharma, and healthcare sectors, and we serve them globally with leverage teams from our offices in the US, the UK, India, and most recently Singapore. You can see here the services that we offer. Our consultants are trained to develop a unique mix of skills by blending business understanding with a strong technical aptitude for analytical tools and techniques. We work with a large number of big companies, and we tend to work with them for a long time. There are some in particular here that we've worked with for almost 30 years, so people seem to like what we do. We partner with all the major players in technology and some of the more specialized ones as well. For HR reporting, you can use any technology, but we will be demoing Tableau today and utilize some of the out-of-the-box analytics that comes with that. So let's get started. The goal of HR reporting and analytics. So how can we use HR data to make strategic decisions? What is it and how can it be used? Well, HR data is everywhere. Companies have collected it for years. And that data can be used to answer the big questions around moving a business forward. It can help us to identify why certain key talent continue to thrive while others burn out. We can predict exactly which candidates are likely to succeed and therefore tailor your recruitment strategy. And we can understand what could improve a workforce's performance. It can also help to make the everyday decisions around hiring, onboarding, promotions, etc., instead of just relying on the company way or professional instinct, which can lead to bad practices. So we know that we have the data required, and the challenge is in collating, integrating, and analyzing that data. So I'm going to start off today looking at some basic HR reporting around tracking FT and headcount. I'm sure most of you are aware what FT is, but just to make sure we're on the same page, 10 people working on a project, 10% of their time amount to one full-time equivalent employee, or FTE. So by tracking FT, we can make event-based forecasts on the headcount and utilization required. We can also analyze the demographics of our workforce and look at primary reasons for attrition. More generally, we can look at people movement within the company and identify any relevant changes to employee details. So I'm now going to hand over to Chinmay, who's going to give us a quick demo on one way of using this workforce analysis. As mentioned, we will be demoing in Tableau, but you are able to use any reporting tool at all. So if Chinmay could take over.
Thanks, Emily. All right. So the first dashboard that we see here is Global FTE Analysis. If you notice this dashboard, it gives an overall view of full-time equivalent. On the top is a simple trend chart showing us the data until end of 2016. And this map here gives us a global distribution of FTE for a consumer goods company. Donut here adds more details to this information by giving us a split of FTE by different business units of this company. Like Emily said, Tableau has several built-in options for analytics and one of which is out-of-the-box forecasting, where it identifies a regular pattern in measures that can be continued into the future. So let us enable that for this trend chart and see what the forecast looks like. So here's the Analytics tab, and we track this forecast onto the trend chart. So when it comes up, we would see the forecasted FTE for the next 1 year, and this could be used in future to see how our actuals turned out to be against the forecast as well. So what you see here is the forecast that that Tableau has come up with, and going back to the main dashboard, yes, it's included for 2017 now. So like I said, if I were the HR director for Brazil and I'm keen on looking at how the FTE is in Brazil and the business units contributing to it, so I would look at the data for 2016. All right, I'll hand over the control back to Emily so she can give you other various analysis that we could do on the HR data.
Thank you, Chinmay. So we've taken a quick look at some simple HR reporting around forecasting your FTE. I'm going to talk you through some examples of how you can use your HR data to really drive some serious insights and analysis. Firstly, we're going to take a look at contractors in your company and answer some important questions on the source of supply. So are they agency workers or are they individuals? Where are they placed in the business? It's important to track which cost center they're falling under. What roles are they filling? Are you using contractors generally, in which case you have a capacity shortfall, or are they filling a particular skill shortage? If it's the latter, you have a capability shortfall, and you may want to look into learning and training. Is there a gap in the courses offered that could help to plug this capability shortfall? Furthermore, you might want to understand what the popular courses are. So what skills are your employees actually looking for? And what's the impact of the learning? So, for example, is there a correlation between taking leadership courses with speed to promotion or performance rating? Additionally, if you have found that you have a capacity or capability shortfall, you may want to look into recruitment. Not having enough people or not having enough of the right people can have a direct impact on the revenue generated in the company. Therefore, recruitment needs to be effective and ensure that the number of positions filled is in line with the overall plan. So we can use our HR data to take a look at demographics and see what kind of candidates tend to succeed in the business. And we can also look at their educational history to see where the right candidates might be found. Another popular example is health and safety. If you can get a clear understanding of where accidents and injuries are likely to occur, then you can be much better at preventing them. Your HR data can be used to create a framework to assess, measure, and monitor employee health and safety policies across all layers of your business. Armed with this kind of fact-based guidance, you can really make moves to prevent lost time and lost productivity. Our last example here is around key talent. So with your HR data, you'll be able to identify the top performers and look at their demographics. So do you have a nice healthy mix of talent in your business? You can analyze the spread of key talent by various hierarchies to identify any gaps, and you can optimize the talent through development and training. As well as this, you can identify the primary reasons for key talent leaving your business and make strategic decisions around retention. Now, purely because we don't have enough time to show examples of everything we've talked about here, we're just going to have a demo on key talent today, particularly around retention. But if you think another area would be of more interest to you, or if you want further information on all of them, then please do reach out to myself or Chinmay, and we'll be able to talk you through that. So hopefully we've resolved some of our Tableau issues today, and I'm going to pass back over to Chinmay for our second demo.
So I've restarted Tableau now, and let's quickly get cracking with the second demo. Hopefully it goes smooth. So So we are looking at this talent pool analysis dashboard, and I would like to continue with the same data set. What I'm currently looking at is data for Brazil 2016 and one of the mid-staff levels in the purchasing business unit. Although this data set is more, I'm focusing more on the talent pool of the organization. The graph on the left is basically addressing a question that are we meeting the demand for our talent count? What I see here is a demand versus supply plot across various business units. The marks indicate the expected talent headcount, and the green bars indicate how much of demand have you met. What I also see here is the gray bars that give a pictorial representation of 80% or 60% of the talent demand. Hence, I can tell how far off are we from the demand. Some of them have met demand and some of them haven't, but purchasing, as I see, although it hasn't met the demand, but it is catering to at least 80% of the demand. Legal division, however, is below 60% of the demand. To give a numeric representation to this graph, we have a table here on the side that captures how much is the shortfall. Exactly. So this is a shortfall in number, but I'm more interested in the percentage of shortfall, which I see is 75% for the legal division. I would look for more measure to understand where is this talent in legal moving to. So I take a look at the waterfall for people movement chart, and here this is filtered out for the legal division. I see that we do have a considerable number of promotions to higher levels and lateral hires coming in to cater to the outflow from this level, but there is a significant talent leaving the company as well. I'm interested in this group of people who have left to get more background to it, and which takes us to the plot here where we get to know how satisfied is the key talent in the organization. So what you see here is a satisfaction versus resignation plot to say people who have left, one, were they all unhappy? Quite a few are, but we also see that there are a group of people who had high satisfaction levels but have resigned. So I would like to dig deeper into that and would be interested to see if they were given any good review or bad review. So I would bring the evaluation scores in the picture, which takes us to the next dashboard, which is a scatter plot for satisfaction versus evaluation. For the key talent in legal department, what you see here is those who are still in the company. Obviously, there's a huge group who are highly satisfied and have been evaluated very well. For those who have resigned, we see this group here has who we have evaluated very well but were quite unhappy in the company, which could be because they weren't challenged enough, and which is understandable. However, this group here, the group here has high satisfaction and good evaluation, but see that they have left the company. So I would wonder why. To help me answer this question, if I include more attributes like work experience, salary level, promotions to this cross plot, then I would have more background to it. But then, by doing so, I arrive at this cross plot, which has included those additional attributes to answer that question. What I have is too much information to look at, and when the data gets complex, it gets tougher to answer the questions. So this is where the new clustering feature of Tableau can be utilized. This can again be found in the Analytics tab of Tableau. So let's try that out while we speak. create a copy of this. And we have a cluster option in the Analytics tab, which when dragged would give me options to include those additional attributes that could help me in finding patterns in this data. So I could include the company work experience and projects assigned, whether they were promoted in the last 3 years, etc. And that could help me give the clusters. So we have one created for this reason. And what you see here is a satisfaction versus evaluation, and a Tableau and we have created clusters on this. Also, what if I have specific requirements that need to be included, for example, normalization of data? So Tableau also allows us to include R scripts that can be used to gain more control to the visualization. So what you see here is where you could plug in your R script, and which is more customizing, and that would add more sense to my clusters, which Tableau is already provided. Now, when I look at the pattern of the patterns that have been formed, I see that, cluster 6 grabs my attention, because this is leading me to answer the question as what is the background to people with high satisfaction levels and good evaluation scores, considering the attributes in context like projects assigned, salary level, etc. So to help make sense of this cluster, we have some whisker plots which help us describe each of these clusters, and you see that the other attributes that we included, like project assigned, salary level, and we have explanations for them for each of these clusters. I have included this in a dashboard to have an overall view. So now when I look at cluster 6, which was what I was behind, and I see that in the whisker plot, the other attributes for this group of employees, they have a reasonable projects assigned and reasonable salary level, and they have mid-level work experience. To provide more support to this analysis, I would like to look at the survey that was conducted on resignations for the employees with mid-level work experience. I do have a data for it, and I just need to create a relevant visualization. So let me do that while we go through this data. So we have reasons for resignations, and let's see what visualization Tableau offers us with the reason description. So I think it would be more useful for me to have a pie chart here. So I select the pie chart code, and what is currently showing me is split of the resignations for different reasons. And in order to see those reasons, I would put the reason description on the labels. But I still need to see what is the number of people or the percentage for each of these reasons. So I would include the head count to also to the label to see how many people left for each of these reasons. Although what would give me a better understanding is having a percentage associated with it. So I could quickly change this to a quick table calculation as a percentage of total. And we see that now we have the percentage of people resigned and for various reasons. And here I noticed that about 36% of resignations are due to people going for higher studies. One of the ways in which we can try and retain this talent is by offering an aid to their education, as well as securing their positions in the company so that they can come back and work with us again. So with this analysis, we would like to conclude our second demo, and I would want to pass on the control to Emily.
Okay, so let me summarize briefly what we have talked through today. We have looked at what HR data is and how it can be used to inform decisions around moving your business forward. We had a whistle-stop tour of the kind of scenarios where you might want to utilize your HR data. And we looked at a demo that took us from some fairly basic HR reporting right through to really driving some insights and analysis out of that data. And we used the example there of retaining key talent. Hopefully you found these examples useful, and they've given some idea on how to use your HR data effectively and really make the most out of it. As mentioned earlier, if you do have any questions at all, please feel free to reach out and we can help with those. I think we'll wrap it up there. I hope you enjoyed our webcast today and have a great rest of your day. Thank you very much.